I'm Tommie Lee, and this is the Scam of the Week. And Megan White is joining us from the Better Business Bureau serving Northern Indiana. Megan, always great to have you here.
Thanks, Tommie. It's always great to be here.
Now, we have talked before about how scammers tend to show up where the money is, and weddings definitely qualify. With so much planning, so much emotion, so much expense wrapped up into that one big day, it seems like a perfect storm for fraudsters.
Yes, weddings can be one of the happiest milestones in a person's life. But like you said, they also involve high stakes, both financially and emotionally. So an increasingly common type of scam that we're seeing is tied to this very important day, and it's in the form of a wedding photography scam. So it's especially concerning because couples are counting on these photos to capture memories that they'll cherish for a lifetime.
We got scammed with our wedding photos, actually. Yeah, you might be willing to compromise on something else, but your wedding photos are very, very important, and my wife is still angry about it to this day.
Oh, that's devastating. Yeah, that's what makes it so painful. I mean, you as a couple put your trust in often a sizable deposit in the hands of someone, and you believe that they're a professional. But in reality, some of those so-called wedding photographers are, like you experienced, just out there to take the money and run.
So walk us through how these scams typically play out and what people should be watching out for.
Yeah, well, I mean, it typically starts off the way any transaction begins, with a polished online presence. And the scammers create a professional-looking website or social media page, and they could even showcase stolen images in their wedding portfolios to appear legitimate. They offer competitive pricing for wedding packages. There are sometimes even a little too good to be true prices, and they're quick to respond to inquiries. Then that helps them to build trust. So once the couple agrees to move forward, the scammer sends over a contract, often through email, and everything seems standard. The couple pays a deposit, typically a non-refundable method like peer-to-peer payment apps or wire transfer, and they feel confident that they've booked their wedding photographer. But then one of two things happens. In many cases, the photographer is a complete no-show on the big day, and the couple's left with no wedding photos and no way to get their money back. And in another scenario, the photographer actually does attend the wedding, and they may even seem professional in person and take hundreds of photos and promise a quick turnaround. But after the event, no photos, no responses, and no refund.
And that is just brutal. I mean, you're not just out your money, you've lost the memories of your big day. We were fortunate. We did get our photos, but we got them in a small little album that looked like somebody ran it off their computer that didn't even have the right name on it.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you got your photos.
Right.
Because typically that's just a financial loss, and it's also an emotional loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those are once in a lifetime moments that you can't recreate. And so that's what makes the scam really, really devastating.
So let's talk about how to protect yourself. How can you avoid falling into one of these traps? There are red flags for couples hiring a wedding photographer. Break them down for us.
Sure. First and foremost, as we always say, you need to do your research, do your homework. A legitimate wedding photographer will have a well-established reputation. And as always, a great place to start your research is at bbb.org. You can look for verified complaints and reviews. You can check out their BBB letter grade. A legitimate photographer will have a consistent presence across multiple platforms. And ideally, you can get a personal referral from someone that you trust. If a wedding photographer only operates through social media, that is a concern. You need to find out how long the photographer has been in business, and if their online presence seems brand new or only features a handful of curated images, that's worth digging into. And Tommie, another red flag is if the wedding photographer pushes you to provide a large deposit, especially if they demand payment through untraceable methods like wire transfers or gift cards. Reputable photographers typically accept credit cards, and those offer much more consumer protection. You should also be wary of prices for wedding packages that seem too good to be true. While it's understandable to work within a budget, extremely low rates, especially without a clear explanation, can be a sign of a scam. Professionals know the value of their work, and they charge accordingly.
And I'm guessing you should always have a contract with a wedding photographer, too.
Absolutely. A detailed written contract is critical. It should outline exactly what services are being provided, the number of hours the wedding photographer will be present, how many edited photos you'll receive, timelines, payment structure, and the cancellation policy. And don't just sign it, you should read it thoroughly too. Make sure that you understand what's in the agreement. If anything seems vague or overly complicated, do not be afraid to ask questions or to walk away.
Now, what about checking credentials? This would have helped me 21 years ago. Are there ways to verify that someone, in fact, is who they say they are?
Yeah, that's a very important step. So you want to ask for references, and you want to follow up to ask those references how their experience was. You should find out if the couple received their photos on time and if the wedding photographer was professional and how well they communicated with them, because these conversations will reveal a lot. Also, make sure that the photographer's website provides more than just a first name and an email address. A lack of transparency around identity or business details is a major red flag.
Makes total sense. So what should people do if they think they've been scammed?
Well, don't wait. Take action immediately. First, you should report the scam to BBB Scam Tracker at bbb.org/scam tracker. You should also notify the Federal Trade Commission at reportfraud.ftc.gov. And if you shared any financial information like credit card number, you should reach out to your bank or your credit card issuer to dispute the charges and secure your accounts immediately. You might also consider placing a fraud alert or even a credit freeze with the major credit card bureaus to help protect against identity theft, because your report can help protect someone from the same type of scam.
It's a lot of very helpful information, Megan, especially as wedding season is upon us. It is heartbreaking that this happens, believe me, but being informed really is the best protection you can have.
You're absolutely right, Tommie. Yeah, the more you know, the better equipped you can be, and you can ask the right questions and spot warning signs and protect yourself from these kinds of scams.
That's right. Your wedding is one of the most important days of your life, so make sure it goes trouble-free. I could not agree more. Everybody listening, like we always say, take your time, do your research, and don't let the excitement of the moment lead you into a costly mistake. If a deal seems too good to be true, yeah, it probably is. Megan, thanks again for helping us stay one step ahead, and we will talk again soon on the Scam of the Week.
Thanks, Tommie. Have a great one.
Podcasts by Federated Media.